Hey everybody, welcome back. Today what I'm going to do is show you a very simple way to do a Euro mount on your own. I actually have 3 skulls I need to do. The first one we're going to do is my baby sister's first harvest ever, which she took in August. It was an antelope hunt here in New Mexico, and she shot an old doe. And so you may or may not know, when it comes to antelope, the females can also have horns. So her doe had horns on it, little ones. So anyways, we're gonna do hers first, and the process is basically to boil it to a point where you can get everything loose, the brains and all that stuff, get all that out, clean it out, use water, pliers, whatever you gotta do, knives. And then once that is done, you can put it back into boil for 10 minutes with peroxide or Clorox. People use different ones, different things. Today I'm going to be using bleach. I'm using Clorox just a little bit, just dump it in the water a little. And after that, after 10 minutes, believe it or not, if that's boiling, you throw it in for 10. This is clean. Your skull is ready to go. Disinfects it. It smells. It doesn't have a smell to it, so you can hang it in your house and you're ready to go. So some of the materials you're going to need a burner, a big pan to be able to fit your skull in. This is actually a small pan, believe it or not. Like if you have an elk or something big, it's not going to fit in here. So you're going to need a bigger pan, and this burner should be fine if you have a good burner. And but this antelope skull, even though she was a big female, you could see how long her skull was. It'll fit just fine in here, so no problem. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get our water boiling. I filled it up to where it'll completely cover the skull, so it's probably about right here. And I can show you that with my phone if you'd like. Just so you can see where I put the water to. You can see the water. You can see the size of the pan. And the water is maybe, the whole head will fit in there. The whole skull will actually fit in there. So we're just letting that come to a boil. Looks like it's pretty close. You can see bubbles already. And then we'll get the skull in there and we'll wait for 10 minutes. We'll let that boil. And then, sorry about that. We'll let that boil and then we'll clean it out, the skull, and get it back in to get it white. So let's go ahead and get started by letting this water boil. Our water is now boiling. So what you don't want to do is overboil your skull. So it is 230. So I'm going to boil this for 10 minutes. The entire skull is actually submerged. So that's good, because those horns on the female and on male antelope too. So if you hit a buck, the black horns actually come off the bone of the animal. So you'll see when I take the horns off of this doe, underneath is a bone that actually grows. They're one of the only animals where the bone is attached to their skull. It grows like their skull, right with their skull. So we want that to be submerged so that it comes off easily. Yeah, you're doing good, baby. So I'm letting her get in there with the blade, making sure she cuts away from herself and just very careful strokes. And I'm going to use the blade too, and I'm just going to be real careful not to cut her or myself. Once we open it up, see how we kind of opened it up in here? Mm-hmm. Those are the eyes, so just don't be afraid. Yeah, get in there and just, if you have to use a knife or pliers, get the eyeballs out. We want the eyeballs completely out. Doing good. And the chickens and the dogs love this stuff. It's cooked, actually. We boiled it, right, too?
Yep.
So we can give it to the dogs and the chickens, and they'll eat it up. Just taking our time. It's a process, it's not, this isn't a quick process. You can use a pressure washer. So just get the big stuff, Maya, and then we'll get the hose and
just spray it all over my mouth.
So, and you can also just kind of, I'm just cutting the eyeball to cutting around it. You might have to use this little one, babe, because the eyeball is... So I ended up boiling this skull for a little bit more than 10 minutes. I would say about 15 minutes. It still feels pretty solid. So I didn't go too long, but I had to go a little bit longer than 10 because when I pulled it out, it was still wasn't ready. So look, there's the whole eye, look. So just cut around the eye. And then you can just pull it out like that. Okay, baby. I just don't want to break. You want to be gentle with the horns. You don't want to break the horns off. So I'm just gonna. This is a lot easier with a pressure washer, but I don't have one right now. So this is the final product here in the sun. Pretty sweet, pretty clean. Nice little trophy to hang on my sister's wall. So instead of Clorox, you can also use peroxide. I think I've actually had, it's a different kind of white with peroxide, and you may like that more. But experiment, try it out. But yeah, not too bad. You can do it on your own. Ready for the wall.